What's up, everybody? Today on Make It Cozy, I want to talk about getting into woodworking real quick. Or really any hobby. And if you look behind me, right, this just didn't happen overnight. I had to start somewhere in amassing tools. And I know for a lot of people that can be a little nerve-wracking. And it might be very costly, right? You might think, oh, I got to get all these tools, power tools, hand tools, whatever, and your budget is just going to go nuts. Well, there are a few resources that are at your disposal, and some of them are pretty common, right? Like you can go to yard sales, garage sales, mom-to-mom sales, estate sales, bunker sales, attic sales, basement sales, whatever, right? I mean, some of those might not exist, but you get my picture. Those are very good, right? Because somebody might be moving, they might just have a lot of junk, and they're like, yo, you want this hand plane? $5. And you're like, this is awesome, man. It's a great hand plane, right? Speaking of which, if you see my hand plane video, you know that I'm very cheap. And I like to restore things, so it's like a win-win, right? You can get a lot of tools, and you can get them cheap if you're willing to do a little bit of work, right? So that's one avenue. The other one, which is very common, is Facebook Flea Market, Craigslist, eBay, right? You can also get a lot of cool stuff over there. But the problem with them being like a real common thing is that a lot of people know about them, right? Well, let me tell you something that I didn't really realize until just recently, and that is auction sites, right? Local auction sites. So I'm not talking about like, you know, Slappy Joe went over and he was like drug dealing and now they impounded his 64 Impala. Or so-and-so got foreclosed on their house so you can get this fixer-upper for real cheap, right? I mean, those do exist, and granted, there are other like industrial auction sites, but if that's what you're into, that's also great. But what I'm talking about is just like folks who are just trying to like get rid of their stuff so they can move, and they go to these auction sites to get help. And a lot of those places, you can get a lot of good stuff for real cheap. And sometimes it might be like, you know, grandfather Bing Bong, and he's like, you know, not with us anymore, but he's got a lot of stuff in his basement. And then you can get a lot of his old woodworking tools, hand tools, power tools for real cheap, right? Compared to like going out and buying brand new drills, drill press, bandsaws, whatever, table saws and stuff like that, right? So that's what I did. So let's go ahead and get into the restoration. Cheap tools for a little bit of work. All right, so we're gonna do things a little bit different today. Sarah and Sammy told me about this auction site, which is very cool. And I've heard other folks talk about it before online, on YouTube, on forums, stuff like that, where it's like, yo, you can get some really good stuff for real cheap if you want to go out of your way for these auction sites. And that's exactly what I did. So I threw my hat in the ring for a little grab bag, which I'll share with you right now. So let's go ahead and get into it. But this one, it had a couple of pretty cool items that I wanted, right? Big thing right here is this nice saw. It's got a good wooden handle, looks like some brass fittings right there. And it says, if you see, it says Imperial. So I'm gonna try to fix this guy up. All right, let's get to the box of goodies. Here's my receipt. This is from my thingy, so that's all well and good. I got, there were some like dividers and stuff in here that I was kind of interested in. These are right on top right here. So I'm gonna try to put a little polish on these guys. This has, it looks like a number 8 right there. And this one says Sergeant 6. I imagine it's 6 inches and 8 inches. This looks more like 5, but regardless, size doesn't matter, right? It's what you do with it. It's what you do with your dividers that counts. We got a little bottle opener. It says it's from Austria. So it looks like there's a peeler. I don't know what this is. This is like you can like shank somebody in the eyeball if they get too close to your canned goods or whatever. You're like, get away from my beans. Shank, shank, shank. And then you can also cut glass. This looks like a glass cutter right here. And maybe a sharpening, like a sharpening thing for your knife right here. So that's kind of cool. These look like some locks. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, open and shut. So, fortunately, this works on all 3. Doesn't have the front plate, but we'll make do with what we got. More dividers. This is a baby. And this one kind of comes out too, so we can. I didn't see any identifying marks on this guy. But there's this, you can like stab people if you wanted to. All right, so those are the dividers, which is kind of cool. And then we got this little box. This said hardware. I wasn't really sure. Some more little, oops, I guess this goes like this. No, this way. Oh, this is brass tacks right here. No, it's metal. Ferrous metal. Say ferrous. I think there are 3 of them. There were 3, or there's 1 baby and 3 big ones. This one's, oh no, it went into the box. This one's actually, this is brass, dude. Oh, that's awesome. There's 3 of these. So I'm very excited for that because That's worth the money right there, man. You try to get these things on even Amazon, dude. You get like the chintzy one, where it's like there's no character to it, and it's 20 bucks for one. If it's brass, if it's actual brass. We got some of these guys. Some squares. There you go. This one's kind of cool. Here's another one. This one is not ferrous because it's actually made out of wood. Probably give that one to my kiddo. So we got some various measuring tapes here. Oh, here's another square. Speed square or whatever. Not a speed square, but Stanley. Oh, Stanley. Let's see. And then we have some of these big ones right here. These are kind of neat. These are row measuring tapes, and these are actually metal. And this one, oh wow, this one actually looks really nice. That looks brand new. Look at that. Boom. This one right here is also row. It says patent September 15th, 1914. I guess September was a really good day for doing patents, or at least like numbers divisible by 3. This one's like leather. Somebody's initials on it. But yeah. Ooh, this one's like kind of cool looking. I don't know if you can see, but this is like, it's raised. Like it's embossed or something. So that's really neat. I like that a lot. Mechanic Pal. Ooh. Also made out of metal. Whoa, what does this say? Ooh, made in Czechoslovakia. All right, that's where I'm partially from. Half? Well, like a quarter, I guess. Or a third. All right, anyways. Yeah, Czech, not even Czech Republic. So this is Czechoslovakia. So for all you history buffs out there, you could probably date that. I didn't see any kind of other marking devices on it, but this one is awesome. This is a Stanley. It's a direct read. But look right here. You see this? It's got the little bing bong. So you can say, yo, is this 6 inches or is it 7? And you just butt it up against the side or the corner or whatever. I feel like this actually meets the intention of like way better of what the nowadays models look like. Because look, this is rounded, man. This is square here, but then the bulge, like it's got this mysterious bulge. And look, and also it's not even from the Czech Republic. It's from China. But yeah, metal tape, but even still, man, you don't know what it is from wall, like if this was the wall, to measure, right? It doesn't tell you. It's just plastic. It's just, the heck? Where do we go? How do we go away from this? It looks like a race car or something, or a sneaker. This is what I saw originally, though. This is the dado stack. This is the Craftsman dado. And this is what I wanted. This has, this piece fell off in battle, but whenever I got it, though, the post said it was for a 1/2-inch bore or a 1/2-inch arbor, which my Dunlap saw, the little baby that's on the cart. You may have seen it in other episodes. That one has a 1/2-inch arbor, which would be perfect because then I could just keep the dado stack on the baby and I could just use the Rockwell for my normal day-to-day cutting. So that would be amazing. That was what, because these things are like $100, dude. I'm not trying to spend $100 on Craftsman dado whenever I don't need it. I just made a plastic box joint jig. And that works pretty well for the table saw, right? And now I can go into like bigger and better stuff using the dado stack. So I'm probably going to have that situated as like my go-to. I'm very excited about that. And this whole, I mean, that was like dollars, like not tens of dollars or hundreds of dollars. It was like dollars on dollars. So that's what's up. I'm cheap. You should know this by now if you follow along. Metal ruler. This one's nice. This is kind of cool too. I saw this in the thingy and I was like, is that one of those things that like you used to put your face in Spencer's? And then lately, right, I've been seeing this on all my social medias where people are like, hey, I need to measure my tile for the bathroom. Clunk. And then they do that and then they measure. And it's actually pretty stiff too. So that's really nice. Oh, look at this. We got some butcher knives for the butcher shop. We could do this for like teppanyaki or whatever. We could like flip the shrimp into, well, I can't because I'm allergic, I'd die. But I mean, I could flip somebody else's shrimp and be like, whoop, and like put it in my hat and stuff and then they could eat it. Looks like no name. So I only peeked it was on the top. This was at the bottom. It almost looks like, right here, like there was a ruler. You'd be like, oh, I didn't have a measuring, so I just used my butcher knife. This one's kind of cool too. They both have wooden handles. This one looks like it's got a brass, not a ferrule, but like, oh, this one has like a thing on it. Ooh, and that's like stamped. That's not even like embossed either. F herder. At least it was an N herder. You don't want to be like a Nerf herder or whatever. Who's scruffy looking? But that's kind of cool. It's got like a little spatula with legs. And spatula with legs. I feel like that could be a project for somebody if they're really goofy. Or inspirational. This one's thick though, dude, compared to this one. Look at how much girth this one has compared to this. It's like double the girth. Boom. You can like chop a chicken right in half with this, bro. All right, that's it. That's the stack. So let's see if we can get some of this stuff up to snuff, and you can follow along the way. My intention is to get like a plastic bin, and then I could just like have it soak overnight with like a vinegar solution or like something like that. Try to get some of that rust off, polish it up, and then stick some oil on it. So my mindset for this was just to give it a quick soak in vinegar to get some of the superficial rust off, but a couple of hours didn't cut it. Literally, it didn't cut through the rust. So I had to go in and wrap it, soak it, and do an overnight with just white distilled vinegar that you get from the store. After that, like you saw, right, I busted it and neutralized it with the baking soda. That way, you can rinse it with water, but you might still have an acidic solution, so you want to be careful with that. If you neutralize it with baking soda, it kind of, hedges your bets a little bit better. So after we did that, we're going to go through, we're going to bust all the rest of the rust with some grinding and buffing. So let's go ahead and get to that. We're going to get buff. All right, there we go. We got the dado stack on the Dunlap, so that's ready to roll. We've got my squares up there, and I made a little stand out of scrap wood just to stick it on the pegboard for the dividers. And I got my saw over there ready to roll. The measuring tapes, they don't need a lot of work because they're measuring tapes, so you know, it is what it is. But this guy right here, all bright and shiny, it looks great. And these guys, little angle finders or whatever, man, these things are like 40 bucks brand new. So that was well worth it just for that, you know what I'm saying? So that's cool. We got the knives and we got the clasps and the locks, right? So those might be used in a later project, so we'll see where that goes. But other than that, man, if you got questions, let me know in the comments. And we'll hit you up on the next one. Peace.